Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining for today's Bhagavad Gita discussion. Today we are going to continue our discussion on 7th chapter, the knowledge of the absolute. This is the title of this 7th chapter. Let us begin with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarini. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prapanna Parijataye Totravetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaye Geetamrit Duhe Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Chapter number 7, the knowledge of the absolute. This chapter explains the knowledge of the absolute. So what is this absolute? Absolute is, we can understand absolute as the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is the absolute truth. In this chapter, Krishna is going to explain about his own self and also his energies. Here, absolute means Krishna with his energies, all together, complete. Now, this chapter is an answer of how, by practicing, always remembering Krishna, always offering our own mind and body and intelligence, everything we are offering to Krishna, surrendering to him without any doubt. If we are trying to attain Krishna, this is the way that we can attain Krishna and we can know Krishna. Krishna, in previous chapter ending, in the 6th chapter ending, Krishna says, the best of yogis is the one who always remembers me and surrenders unto me, works for me. In this way, Krishna says that a bhakti yogi is the best of all yogis. Now, how do we do this bhakti is explained in these upcoming chapters. And Krishna is going to explain about this absolute, this transcendental knowledge that he has mentioned in 4th chapter. So this is the chapter that Krishna is going to explain about himself, his own self. That's why this is really an important chapter. Now, in the first 7 slokas, we have seen that Krishna says in this chapter, here, now I am going to explain you about the complete knowledge that is about both spiritual and material world. Combining these two, I am going to explain you about everything. After this, you remain with nothing else to be known. That means Sri Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. He is the Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of all causes. So that's why you want to know about matter. By knowing Krishna, you will know matter. You want to know about spirit? By knowing Krishna, you will know it. You want to know about some mystic science and all these things? By knowing Krishna, you can know everything. So that is the point. It is mentioned in the Mundaka Upanishad also that when one knows Sri Krishna, Parabrahman, then you remain with nothing else to be known. And that is what we are going to discuss in these 30 slokas Krishna is explaining. And to know this, Krishna says, many people, out of thousands of people, that they are trying to attain perfection. Perfection means trying to know Krishna, knowing Krishna completely. Hardly one knows me, which means that is very, very difficult and very, very rare to know Krishna. And these 1,000 people, for example, if we consider 1,000 people trying to attain perfection, being in this 1,000 people is rare, first point. And second point is, among these thousands of people, only one person is going to know about Krishna is the rarest of all. To understand Krishna in some percentage is okay, but completely knowing Krishna, that is very rare. So knowing truth is difficult. But Krishna is going to explain how we can know that. So he begins with saying that there are two things. One is material and second is spiritual. These two are the energies of Krishna. That material energy is made up of Panchabhutas: earth, water, fire, air, ether, and mind, intelligence, and false ego. All these things together, if we make, then that is the eight constitute my separated material energies, which means earth is a separate energy and water is a separate energy. We can't say that earth is coming from water or water is coming from earth like that. They are completely separate. They may come from one after the other, but they are as a separate energies. Now, from these eight elements, Srila Prabhupada explains that there are 16 more elements coming up, and eventually we remain with 24 elements. These 24 elements make up this whole material creation: earth, sun, moon, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, galaxy, Milky Way, stars, our body, ocean, lakes, birds, mountains, animals, humans, coronavirus, Omicron, everything is made up of these 24 elements only. So these 24 elements, among these are the 8 elements from which that other 16 will come, and eventually the 24 elements will be there. So this total are the material creation. That's it. There's nothing other than this. And next, Krishna says there is two energies of mind. One is superior and one is inferior. Superior energy is that which exploits and uses this inferior energy. We, as an Atma, we are the superior. We are trying to control, we are trying to exploit the resources of material nature. Material nature is this earth. So we are trying to exploit, we are trying to use this body, this all the elements, the material matter we are using. So that's why this is inferior. नीचे है, ऊपर जो है वो हम है आत्मा, नीचे जो है वो भौतिक शरीर, भौतिक वस्तुएं है. Now Krishna says these two combined, you will know that there are only these two things in this material. Other than this, there is nothing. And these two things has origin in me. मेरे से आ रहा है ये सब. Krishna says, from me comes all these things, and from me enters all these things. This is energy. ये energy है. Material energy and spiritual energy है. हम material nature, spiritual nature, ये energy से भगवान का शक्ति. इसका कोई अंत नहीं होता है. There doesn't have any time when it is gone. There's no. For example, we may say that this body is there now, before this body is not there. You can say, but this body is the energy of Krishna. Krishna energy is always there. It will be there in another form, but it will be there. Like that, we are also dissolved. That means when the creation happens, before the creation happening, we are all present inside Narayana or Krishna. We are there, but inside Krishna in an unmanifested form. For example, when we are sleeping, night 12 hours we are sleeping, morning 12 hours we are working or studying or whatever we are doing. So in the night 12 hours that we are sleeping, are we there? Yes, we are there. But are we conscious and are we there in this world? No, we are not conscious, but we are there. We are there in some other dreams. So that doesn't make that we are not there. We are there. In the same way, when creation happened, before that, we are there, but in a kind of sleeping state inside Narayana, inside Krishna. When the universe is created, then comes the whole creation, and that is also coming from Krishna only. And at the same time, we also, both matter and spirit, both comes out from Narayana or Krishna. So that is the origin, Krishna. And after, when the whole creation is destroyed, we feel very sad. But that is not something strange. It happens every kalpa, each and every yuga. At the end, something happens, and every day of Brahma, this cycle happens. The whole creation happens, again whole dissolution, destruction, completely destroyed everything. everyone is died and all this creation is destroyed like anything, then everything enters inside Sri Krishna. And after that, again and again, morning of Brahma, everything is created, again destroyed, again created. So this is a cycle what Sri Krishna has designed. Now, this is what is there in the creation. Other than this, there's nothing, Krishna says. And then Krishna says, there is no truth superior to me. I am the supreme. I am the absolute. That is what Krishna says. I am the boss. I'm the boss of the whole universe, whole creation, spiritual, material, everything. And one more thing he says, everything rests upon me. As the pearls are strung on the thread. We see the jewelries, pearl jewelry we see, that's visible. All the pearls are visible, but there's a thread inside that. An ignorant person will say that, no, where is thread? I can't see. There's only pearls. As per my senses, there's only pearls, we may say. But man, to have that pearls in that place, there should be some support. Otherwise, the pearls will fall down. To tie, to keep the pearls one after the other, there's some thread that is going through that pearls. So that thread is what is Krishna. And that pearls is what is the whole creation, which is coming and going, which is coming and going. But still, that is there. That is the Shakti of the Shaktiman. Shaktiman is Krishna. That is this thread. He is the support of it. He is the source of everything. If we all are dependent on Krishna. We are not the boss. Krishna is the boss. We are not superior. Krishna is the superior. He is the boss. And we are his loving servants. We are part of the boss. And after this, now Krishna is going to reveal how we can see Krishna. Everyone asks, where is God? Where is God? I can't see him. I can't see him. But as I said, he's the thread behind all these pearls. We can't see him without knowing him. We need to understand how he's there. Otherwise, we can't see it with our senses, blunt senses. Our senses are imperfect. We can't see what the dog sees. You know, the dog can see UV rays and all other light the dog can see, but we can see only some colors. There is a spectrum of light that we can see. This spectrum of wavelength inside which only we can see. Other than that, we can't see. UV rays we can't see. IR rays we can't see. If we can see all these things, then you'll be shocked. All that rays and lights that are coming, this Wi-Fi, internet, all these things will be visible to you. You can't see anything other than that. So that's why our senses are limited. We can't see everything. That's why, how can you expect to see that Sri Krishna? He's a thread behind the pearls. You need to understand him. Then only we can see him. So here is some understanding. Krishna says, how do we see him in this material world? इस भौतिक जगह में भगवान को कैसे ढूंढेंगे? One second. Okay. हरे कृष्ण. मैं एक एग्जांपल दूंगा. One small example I will give you. After that, you can understand everything clearly. So you look at this picture. This picture. Let me zoom in. Yes, this is the picture. So this person is there. He is very thirsty. He hasn't taken water from so long, and he's in this desert. And when he is searching for the water, he found some drops of water in this desert. There are little 2-3 drops are there in that water bottle that we have drunk and thrown. Somewhere randomly he found 3-4 water bottles. That is also completely drunk. Only 1-2 drops of water are there. He can't find all those things. I assume that all these water droplets are there, and he found them. Okay, he came to this water drop. This is not practically possible, but as an example, we can understand this. then we can understand this chapter. Forget about water bottle. This person found these water drops nearby. So he came to this water drop, he took it, but his thirst is not cleared. Okay, now he came to another drop, he took it, then also it's not clear because he hasn't drunk from so many days. बहुत thirsty हो रहा. So he went to all these things. After that also he's not fulfilled. So now we need to understand one thing, that in our life also we run behind all these things. Okay, this is a very nice uh, shop. We can buy all the clothes there. Let's go there. Okay, this is a very nice showroom. I'll go and get nice car. I'll work hard so that I'll get money and I'll make big house, nice wife, nice salary, nice children. After that, I will educate them. In this, I will find happiness. Just like this person is running behind all these drops, water drops, we are also running behind all these things. It's not wrong, but I am saying that we are looking for something. We are getting attracted to something in this material world. That's not wrong, but we need to understand why is that attractive? Why is that woman is very beautiful? What is there in that woman, or what is there in that man who is looking handsome? Why is money attracting everyone? Why is everyone wants to become popular, fame, or great, or richest? So all these things attract us. Just like these water drops are attracting this man who is thirsty. So we are also thirsty of attracting everyone. We want to be great. We want to attract everyone. So why is that happening? This one we need to understand. So when coming to this example, this person has to understand that how is these drops are coming here. If he looks here and there, he found that there is a oasis in that desert where there are some trees and then there is a water. There's a small pond. There's water in that. So that can fulfill his thirst. But he didn't find it. He was looking whole months and years for these drops only. But eventually, somehow he found that there's a pond. Some storm happened and these water came as like drops around him. This doesn't happen, but this is an example. So similarly, this pond is Sri Krishna. This drops is attractive things in this material world. इस भौतिक जगह में जो भी हमें attract करता है वो श्री कृष्ण से आ रहा है. Now we'll go to that slokas. Now you can understand all these slokas. Krishna says, I am the taste of water. I am the light of the sun and moon. I am the syllable Om. I am the sound in ether, ability in man, original fragrance of earth, heat in the fire, life of all lives. So all these things, intelligence of the intelligent, power in the powerful man, original seed, aham bija pradapita. I am the seed giving father. He is the original seed of all. So all these things are these water droplets, small water droplets. So, but all these are Sri Krishna. You can't say this drop is ocean, this pond. There is different. Krishna says, I am this taste of water. So that doesn't mean you keep water glass and you worship water glass. No. We need to understand that Krishna says the attractiveness in the material world is coming from me. I am the supreme attraction from which comes this attractiveness for all these things. We get attracted. So in a hot, sunny day, you haven't drunk any water till evening, but when I give water to you, then you will feel that the water is like nectar. अमृतम जैसा है पानी बहुत अच्छा है. तब आपको पानी का वैल्यू समझ आएगा और उसका टेस्ट समझ आएगा. नहीं तो you will feel that what is there in water? That water doesn't have any taste. Like that you will feel. So at that time you understand that water is very tasty. I understand the value of this water. Similarly, the sun, light of the sun. We don't know that value of the light of sun. We never go to sun. We are always inside house. But we need to understand without sunlight, Earth will not be there. Whole solar system will not be there. We will not exist. The plants also can't grow. You can't sit inside a concrete building and do all this nonsense. That light is Krishna. All these things are just like that thread, and all the pearls are outside that. So Sri Krishna is a thread. All the things that are attracting us, that is coming from Krishna. He is the Adi. He is the Sarvakarana Karanam. So from him comes all these things. And in this chapter, two things we need to understand. Where is Krishna? Krishna is the Adi of the Srushti. He is the source of creation. That is one thing. Second thing, he is within the creation. He is everywhere in the creation. Krishna, from Krishna comes everything. That is first point. He is the source of everything. So where are we coming from? Krishna. So where is Krishna? Krishna is everywhere. These two things we need to understand. He is the source of everything and he is within the creation. When you understand that he is the source of creation, then we understand that we are his Amsha. We are part of Sri Krishna. Then we try to love him. We try to surrender unto him. And second thing, he is present everywhere. So when you understand this is also very important, because within the creation, Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is in the beginning, Krishna is in the end, Krishna is in the middle, Krishna is behind, Krishna is in front, Krishna is in east, Krishna is in west, right, left, up, down, north, south, everywhere Krishna is there. Krishna is there in the atoms and also in the middle of these two atoms also. So everywhere Krishna is there. When you understand this, you will not voluntarily hurt anyone. You will not harm anyone. You will not exploit them. Yes, I am the boss. That will not happen. Krishna is the boss. This whole chapter, Krishna says, I am this, I am that, I am the source of everything. I am the source of spiritual, I am source of material. Everything comes from me. No one is superior to me. In this way, Krishna explains all these things. So eventually, what is the point we need to understand? He is the absolute. Madhava, Sri Krishna is absolute. From him comes everything and he lies in everywhere. That is one main point we need to understand. When we understand this, then we naturally love Krishna. We naturally love his energy also. Vasudeva, Sarvamiti, he is everywhere. Vasudeva is present everywhere. And this everything, this Srushti is Vasudeva Kutumbam. This is a family of Sri Krishna. Everything is family of Krishna. Each and everything. You don't disturb anything. You should not disturb anything. That's Krishna's energies. So we need to love everything. This is naturally happens when we know the position of everything. So when you understand that that the tree in front of your house is Krishna's, that is energy of Krishna. My body is also energy of Krishna. You will not go and cut the tree. No one needs to tell you, don't cut the tree, don't kill chicken, don't kill mutton, don't go for fishing and kill the fishes. No one needs to tell you, because everything is Krishna's and everything is the energy of Krishna. We should not exploit them. Everyone has their own free will. Krishna gave everything. So we should not disturb them. Just like this man is running behind that water drops, we are running behind everything, exploiting everything. But man, we need to understand that they are the attractions coming from the pond. All the droplets are coming from the pond. Everything attractiveness coming is from Krishna. So you are getting attracted to male or female or money, popularity, fame, anything you are getting attracted to. Actually, there is no attraction in that. So attraction is there come from Krishna. So you need to love Krishna. You should not run behind these things. That is a point. Don't run behind anything in this creation. Within creation, Krishna is there. That is what is attracting you. So that's why Krishna's name is Krishna. Krishna, Sarva Akarshati iti Krishna. Krishna is the attractiveness in everything. So that's why he is called Krishna. Sri Krishna, we need to surrender. We need to give that love. We need to get attracted to. Understanding this, one will naturally come to Krishna. One will naturally come to this pond. There's a pond, man. Look for it. Look for it. We need to do our bhakti, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, regularly coming to Bhagavad Gita discussion. In this way, whatever we have, we need to give it to Krishna. That's it. Hare Krishna.